Okay, guys, so in today's video, I'm going to give you 4 different ways that you can dispute your collections and get deletions. And I'm going to show you letters, so stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is show you the first way that I would dispute a collection. Now, this is not like a guaranteed default way that I always send in debt validation letters to collection agencies, because I don't. In fact, I rarely do use debt validation letters in the initial disputing. But first and foremost, if you are sending out a debt validation letter and it is before the actual collection agency has put the information on your credit report, then what this is going to do is stop them from proceeding with trying to collect any funds or report anything negative on your credit report until they have verified the debt with you. So this kind of halts everything, gives you some time. So I'll explain real quick like what the difference between validation and verification letters are. This is a debt validation letter, and in the debt validation letter, you're going to ask things like for a complete account history of the account that they're saying that you owe, name and address of the original creditor. You're going to ask for an itemized statement of how they came to whatever the amount is that they're claiming that you owe. You're also going to ask for proof that they are legally authorized to collect debt in your state. And you're going to ask for verification that the debt is within the statute of limitations of even reporting the debt, because sometimes they will go back and get something that's like 8 years old and try to slap it on your credit report and things like that. So that's what this validation letter is all about. That is all I'm asking for. It is short and straight to the point, just how you know I like to be. Now, when it comes to verification, verification is what the collection agency would send me back. So they will need to verify this, and this will be them validating that debt. Okay, so that's the difference between verification and validation. So in the event that the collection agency sends back verification, and all verification is a bill and then a letter trying to negotiate a settlement, which they do all the time, then my next step would be to file a complaint with the CFPB. I would keep a copy of the letter that I sent to them. I would upload that into the CFPB's portal, and also just everything that I sent over to the actual collection agency. And I will also upload their response and inform the CFPB that they did not properly validate the debt. Okay, so get that under your belt. And then in the process of doing that, I would also send out a second debt validation letter to them that would be more aggressive. The verbiage would change. It would probably be something that I would have notarized, and things of that nature. So I would kick it up a notch with that. So that is one way to dispute your collections, and it does work. Now, it does work, but it's not 100%. Okay, and now here is a second way of disputing your collections. Now, in this letter, I'm calling out discrepancies. And what I'm using is Metro 2 compliance, as well as Fair Credit Reporting Act law. So you're going to see a lot of that in this letter. And as you can see, I like to do like my tables and colors and stuff like that, because I want you to see exactly what I'm talking about. So, and I'm not going to read you this whole letter. Now, I will say, I always tell you guys like how I'm really big on just doing 2 letters. But for some reason, this one got long as 3 letters. But I mean, that's okay for video purposes. If I were sending this letter out, I would probably shorten it up a bit, like just kind of shorten up some of the verbiage, because I don't like long letters. So as you can see on this letter, typical letter, name, address. This is the company that we're sending it to. The reason is a formal dispute of inaccurate reporting for LVNV funding, and here's the account number. And basically, we're going to start off by telling them why you are writing them this dispute letter. And as you can see here, we are giving them Fair Credit Reporting Act law from the very start. We're also challenging them their CDIA standards as well, which is the Metro 2. So as you can see on here, I have in a grid the credit bureau, the name of the account number, the account type, the account balance, the high credit, the account status, and things of that nature. And so next I have the actual violations. So this is Metro 2 and Fair Credit Reporting Act violations. I'm specifically telling them every single violation that I have found on this collection. So, and this is good. Like these types of letters can feel long when you have way more than one collection that you are disputing, because this is an isolated letter, meaning that there's only one account on this dispute letter. So if you have 10 collections, that's 30 letters, okay? So I get, how it can be long, but honestly speaking, this is one of the more effective ways to dispute. Instead of disputing everything on one dispute letter, I'm really big on isolating my disputes so that they get individualized attention no matter how long it takes me to create this dispute letter. So here I'm disputing Metro 2 field 17B, and so not only am I telling them the field, I'm giving them an explanation of the violation. So this lets them know that I know what I'm talking about here and you need to address this. And so it goes down. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 discrepancies or violations that I've found in the way the collection is reporting. Now, as you can see, this letter is not going to the collection agency. This letter is going to the credit bureaus only. And then here I have details of the violation, even furthermore, letting them know, hey, this is not just your average consumer. I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what's being violated. And this way, if they send you back a letter stating that they have verified or validated the collection or anything like that, but they don't change and update any of the discrepancies that you're calling out, then go ahead and do your CFPB report and stick to your guns. Because of something like this, if they're not responding correctly and upholding the law and following CDIA guidelines, then you can sue them and win. So make sure that you keep all of your supporting documentations throughout your whole dispute process. Now, next thing I want to talk to you guys about is identity theft. You think that you have been a victim of identity theft? This is a great and a fast way to get the collection removed off your credit report. Or if there's a collection that appeared on your credit report and you honestly have no idea where it came from, like you don't remember that it was your account, because a lot of times you have old stuff that pops back up on you that you have no idea what it is. Don't just sit there and take it, because it might not be yours, So said all that to say this: if you are experiencing identity theft, or if you think that you may be a victim of identity theft, this is a surefire, quick way to get the collections removed off your credit report by simply filing an FTC identity theft report. And I do have other videos on my channel showing you like me doing the reports, so that you can get an idea of how to do it if you have not done so. It's really simple. But what you would do is have the FTC report, the identity theft report, along with just create a simple 609 verbiage dispute letter. This one is like your most simplest form of a 609 letter. It's not anything fancy. It gets the job done. Like I can use something similar to this and kind of remake it a million times, and it gets the same results. It's just all about that 609 verbiage. So in the 609 verbiage basically is unverified debt under FCRA section 609A1. I request that you provide all pertinent information and documentation regarding these accounts, including the original signed contracts or any proof of the debts. If you are unable to verify the accuracy of these accounts, they must be deleted from my credit report. And so like you see on the dispute letter where I have the account name, the account number, whatever the amount is that they're saying that it's owed. Also in the very heading of the dispute letter, it says formal dispute of inaccurate information under Fair Credit Reporting Act 609, possible fraudulent accounts. Okay, so this along with 3 forms of ID, FTC report should get the job done for you. Now I have a pro tip for you guys. If you have a free My Equifax account, or if you have like a TransUnion report, the quickest way to get this issue resolved is to do uploads. I know that there are videos out here saying that, oh, you shouldn't, upload stuff dispute wise, because you can't sue them. And I did a video to kind of debunk that as well. That is not exactly what that law says. So do your research on that. If you have a problem with disputing online, it is really quick. I do it all the time. Okay. So do your uploads. So what you're going to do is go to, say, Equifax, and you're going to go to the dispute portion of the website as if you're going to dispute just manually, just online, as if you're just going to dispute online. And at the end, before you submit, it's going to give you a chance to upload your supporting documentation. This is where you're going to upload your FTC report, your dispute letter, and your 3 forms of ID. Yes, even though you will be uploading from your account, you still need to upload your 3 forms of ID. So upload that and you're done. So with Experian, same thing. If you have an Experian account, you can upload that way, or you can go to experian.com/document upload or something like that and upload there. Same thing with TransUnion. It's just quicker to just do it that way, especially when it's something simple like this. So that is that with that. Like, honestly, 35 to 45 days, your collection should be gone. And please take my advice. If you have more than one collection, do not do all of it on the same dispute letter. So the fourth way that I wanted to show you guys on how I sometimes dispute collections is this. Now, if I get a client, and even if you are a self-disputer, you can probably identify with this if you have been disputing your collections more than one time. Okay, so this is for my more than one timers. If I get a client who says, hey, I've been trying to get this collection off my credit report, I've done XYZ, then I will pull out my big guns, which is an affidavit of fact and truth, and I will put that stuff on the fact and truth. This is basically like a 609 verbiage letter with some more oomph into it. I have Fair Credit Reporting Act Section 611, 623, 624, along with 609 on this particular letter. I'm not going to go through and read all this to you. I have my notary acknowledgement. So I'm going to get this notarized, and I'm going to upload any supporting documentation that I have to support my claims. That is going to be very important, especially if you have disputed several times. Now, if you have disputed this collection and it is identity theft, or you highly suspect that it is identity theft, but the credit bureaus have sent you back a letter saying that they verified it, you're going to want to keep every bit of mail that you get from the credit bureaus and keep copies of everything that you send to the credit bureaus. Because what I would do with this, once it's notarized, I'm going to go to the CFPB's website with my FTC report if I have one. If it's identity theft, if not, then I just won't have one. And when you actually do your complaint, it's going to ask you, what happened? What do you want us to do about it? In that what happened and what do you want me to do about it, be very specific about what happened. Take your time typing in what happened, okay? Because they're going to not only read that stuff, but they're also going to notate it and send it over to the credit bureaus as well. So if the credit bureau have sent back a verified letter and they did not properly verify that collection, then that's a problem. That's a complaint right there. So this has gotten me so many good deletions when I'm coming behind someone who has already been disputing several times. So I only will pull this out if I need it, if that makes sense. I'm not going to pull it if I don't need it. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope this helped you on your journey, especially like if you are stumped on what to do with your collections. Try these 4 methods. I mean, these aren't the only methods that I use, but these are some really good ones, and they're some of the more popular ones that I would use and pull out. It should get you some really good results if you follow the instructions to the T. Remember, don't file false FTC reports because you can go to jail. So we don't want to do that. If you guys have anything at all that I'm not talking about concerning credit and you'd like to hear from me about, please don't hesitate to leave your comments in the comments or just shoot me a text message or something. So until the next video, we will talk soon.